So most of the Christians visiting the Holy Land in Jerusalem will visit the site claiming to be the location of the Last Supper on Mount Zion. But here is a plaque saying this is the upper room, suggesting this is the site of the Last Supper. So where is it? Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog by Danny the Digger, and this time in the series of following Jesus in Jerusalem, I'm in the quest after the site of the Last Supper and what are the different traditions. So here we go. Okay, so as I reviewed in the previous chapter, most of the Christian world goes to a specific second floor house building in Mount Zion that claims to be the site of the Last Supper. But if you watch that video, you know that it doesn't date to the 1st century. And on top of it, there is another tradition right here in the heart of the Armenian quarter that states at the entrance, this is the site of both the upper room and the house of Saint Mark, meaning it's the first church in Christianity. Now that is a serious claim. Who is making that claim? If we zoom out, you can see this funny writing is Syriac, and this is a church of the small, humble size, a Syriac Christian church in Jerusalem. Yes, I'm overwhelmed by the success I'm getting today of filming at places that are usually not so open and not so easy to get permissions to film in, but I guess the lack of tourists because of the pandemic has changed the attitude. They're happy to have anyone. And here it is. This is the interior of this church, which looks so Greek Orthodox in some degree. And yes, this is not a Catholic church. This community is a member of the Eastern churches, the ones that do not recognize the supremacy of the Pope. Each church has its own leader. They're autokephali. They have their own chief patriarch. And the decorations here are very interesting. A combination of Byzantine styles and Western style as well. The most famous icon is presented here. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, this is something you definitely do not see in a Greek Orthodox church. They do not let you see beyond the curtain, beyond the iconostasis. Here you can see the prayer books, the raised platform for leading the prayers, and the prayer books are in Arabic, but the original language of this community is actually Aramaic. Yes, this small community is actually preserving the original language that Jesus spoke. When he said the Lord's Prayer to his disciple, he didn't say it in English. He didn't say it in Greek. He didn't say it even in Hebrew. He said it in Aramaic. And if you follow my chapter at the Pater Noster, where tradition claims that's where he taught his disciples the Lord's Prayer, I actually recited the text in its original Aramaic language. I don't speak the language, but I can read it because the letters are the same as in Hebrew, and the language is quite similar to Hebrew. But here we are seeking the claim that this is really the site of the Last Supper. And if you look at the architecture of the building, I have to acknowledge it doesn't look very Roman, not even Byzantine. It actually looks Crusaders or even post-Crusaders period. So how can you make a claim that this is the site? The claim that this is the site of the Last Supper is actually presented, well, downstairs. And the site is right now under renovation. The lights are not set yet, so I don't know how much the camera is going to catch of this, but let's give it a try. Oh, thank you. Maybe you could go in and I'll just follow you. What's your name again? I'm sorry, I forgot your name. John, thank you so much for helping me. No, point the light at the altar. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is another very modern looking altar, and it is an addition from just recently. And around it, have stone walls. Here is a very modern looking door. So why is this significant, John? It leads maybe to additional underground sections that are all part of the claim that this is the site of the Last Supper. Let's light up this wall. This wall definitely looks like it's from older times. Fitting the claim. What is this, John? This looks like a pavement. This is stone from the time of Jesus, he's telling me. John is a young member of the Syriac community here who was so kind to let me in and even film here downstairs. Now let's go back up to where the light is. And this is a very interesting claim, although I must express my reservations because the text tells us that the site of the Last Supper was in an upper room. And that is even what the sign says at the entrance. This is not the site of the Last Supper. This is the site of the upper room. Therefore, it has to be the site of the Last Supper. But today the upper room is really, well, downstairs. So how could you make a claim that this is the upper room? Well, the explanation I heard here in the past is very simple. Jerusalem level used to be much lower. And then 2,000 years ago, this level beneath us was an upper room. Okay? Well, perhaps one day excavations will be carried out and we could substantiate this tradition, as well as maybe one day science will validate another holy item that is presented here. And I hope I'm getting this through the glare of the glass. No, let me move a bit to the side here. This is a very significant holy icon that the Syriac community worships here because it is said to have been formed by Saint Luke. It is an image of Mary and Jesus that has faded over the years, but one can still see the details. And what's important is that Jesus appears as an adult. As an adult, meaning he is presented not as baby Jesus, but as an adult. And the claim is that this is proof it was made by St. Luke because he never knew Jesus as a child, only as an adult. Well, maybe one day this will be tested by carbon-14 and other scientific methods to validate, but this is what the community makes of this site. It also presents here very interesting in style, images of different scenes of the Old Testament, the bonding of Isaac, the Assumption of Mary, a topic which I will review in the following chapters, Mary and baby Jesus. I guess this is a local saint. What a charming, little known, hidden gem in the old city of Jerusalem. Yes, when we say the Armenian Quarter, we're doing injustice to the small community which also lives in the Armenian Quarter, and this is its religious center. Okay, there is another claim here that this is also the home of Saint Mark. This ancient Syriac church is said to indicate that this was not only the site of the upper room, meaning the site of the Last Supper, but also the home of Saint Mark. How many interesting traditions. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. Wait, let me zoom in on myself. Thank you, Jean. Toda raba. Shukran. How do you say thank you in Aramaic? Taudi. Taudi, on behalf of me and all my viewers. And stay tuned because more fascinating stuff is to be loaded in my next chapters. Of course, hit subscribe, hit like to make sure you get notifications of when new material is uploaded to YouTube. So long for now. God bless you all and Litraut.